like you're just swimming in financial advice. Or maybe just totally overwhelmed by money itself. It's pretty common, right? Wanting clarity, wanting control, especially when, spending is so easy and everything feels so complex. Well, if that sounds familiar, you're definitely in the right place today. We're doing a deep dive into 7 Money Rules for Life by Mary Hunt. Think of it as a shortcut to some really practical, like real world financial smarts. And Mary Hunt, she's interesting because she's not your typical economist type. She actually called herself a debt survivor. She personally fought her way out of over $100,000 in debt. So her view, it's incredibly relatable and honestly pretty transformative.
Oh, definitely. And her stuff is so relevant right now, wouldn't you say? Especially here in 2025. You've got social media pushing luxury all the time. Impulse buying is almost second nature, and getting loans is easier than ever. So this book, it's like a counter message. It teaches discipline, patience, contentment, structure, things we kind of need. And her core idea really hits home. It's not about how much you make. It's about how you manage what you already have. That's not just powerful. It's not, well, it can be life-saving for some people.
Absolutely. So let's get into these 7 rules. They're really the core of this deep dive. And these aren't just for people drowning in debt, or living paycheck to paycheck. Maybe you're young, just starting out, or your family wanting to fix some spending habits, or maybe you're just tired of money feeling out of control. These rules work whether you earn, say, $5,000 or $50,000 a month. Doesn't matter the currency either. It's about values, about behavior, putting you back in charge. Okay, rule number 1, spend less than you earn. Sounds basic, right? Like, obvious. But it's often the biggest hurdle, isn't it? Why is something so fundamental so hard for so many of us?
Yeah, Hunt really gets into the psychology of it. She points out that overspending isn't just like a math problem. It's a habit, often an emotional pattern. People spend to feel better, or maybe to avoid thinking about other stuff. She argues the root cause isn't always income. It's often something deeper, a trigger that makes us spend even when we shouldn't.
Okay, so if it's emotional, how does she help people figure that out? Like, what are the practical steps beyond just saying stop spending?
Well, she suggests keeping a spending diary. But it's more than just tracking numbers. You write down what you bought, sure, but also how you felt when you bought it. Were you bored, stressed, trying to impress someone? That self-reflection helps pinpoint your personal triggers. She talks a lot about practicing delayed gratification, not like punishment, but as a way to, build that pause in. That pause helps you see if it's a real need or just a want. It reframes spending less as wisdom, not deprivation.
That's a really useful way to think about it. Okay, let's move to rule number 2. Save for the unexpected. You hear this one a lot. I can't save. I just don't earn enough. It feels impossible for many. How does Hunt address that pushback?
She tackles it head on. She really believes that saving consistently, even if it's just, say, $5 or $10 a month, that adds up. It builds a safety net. She says something like, emergencies don't make appointments. They just show up. And when they do, they either destroy you or test your preparation. So she's not talking huge investments here, just basic financial toughness.
Right, like a small emergency fund, maybe a few $100s to start. It's not about getting rich. It's about having that buffer so a flat tire doesn't become a total disaster. Survival money, really. Okay, rule number 3, give some away. This one feels different, doesn't it? Especially compared to a lot of finance advice. Giving money away when you're trying to get your own finances sorted seems counterintuitive. What's her logic there?
It is unique.
Yeah.
But her argument is that giving, even when you're in debt, actually changes your mindset. It's powerful. It's less about the amount and more about breaking that feeling of scarcity, or maybe even greed. Giving fosters a sense of abundance, maybe, increases empathy. It shifts your focus from what you don't have to what you can share. And that mental shift, she argues, can really impact your whole relationship with money.
And it's not about giving away huge sums, just starting small, a few dollars, a set percentage. The act itself is the point. Okay, rule 4. Anticipate irregular expenses. Why are we always surprised by things like, birthdays or school fees, annual subscriptions? We know they're coming.
Right. It's funny how we do that. Hunt calls it the monthly slice method. It's super practical. Basically, you list all those yearly or irregular costs, car insurance, property tax, holiday gifts, whatever, add them up, divide by 12. Then you save that slice every single month, put it in a separate account or even an envelope. So when that $1,200 insurance bill lands, you've already got the $100 a month saved up. No panic. No credit card needed.
I see. That seems incredibly helpful, especially for families dealing with those big, lumpy bills that pop up once or twice a year. Takes the stress out. Okay, moving to rule number 5. Tell your money where to go. Hunt actually calls budgeting a superpower. How does she make budgeting sound, empowering? instead of like a chore.
Yeah, she really reframes it. She has this great quote, "A spending plan is freedom. It gives you permission to use your money with purpose." See, it's not about restriction. It's about being intentional, deciding up front where your money goes instead of just wondering where it all went. She encourages tracking everything, making flexible plans. You need room for fun, too. And she even has tips for managing income that goes up and down.
So it's about being the director of your money, not just a spectator. Purposeful spending. Got it. Rule 6. Manage credit wisely. Hunt's view seems to be credit cards aren't evil, necessarily, but they're not your best buddy either. What's her key advice here?
The absolute main thing is pay the balance in full. Every single month. No exceptions. She warns people not to get caught up in chasing reward points because it often leads to overspending just to get the points.
Yeah.
And a big one. Never, ever borrow for lifestyle stuff, things you just want, not need. This is especially relevant today with all the buy now, pay later options popping up everywhere. It's so easy to finance small purchases now. Hunt connects bad credit habits, not just to financial stress, but also to, mental health, relationships, long-term stability. It ripples outwards.
That makes sense. And finally, rule number 7. Borrow only what you know you can repay. How does this help people avoid getting swamped by, say, personal loans or education EMIs or even a mortgage that's just too big?
She has this fantastic line. She calls it a golden line. If you can't repay it in 30 days, you're borrowing from your future peace. It's not just the interest cost she's talking about. It's the emotional weight of that debt hanging over you.
Yeah.
You lose that short-term peace of mind when you take on debt you can't get rid of quickly.
Wow. That's a really clear way to put it. Avoid borrowing based on emotion. Don't let wanting something now steal your peace later. So those are the 7 rules. But what makes the book itself special beyond just listing these rules?
Well, for one, it's just so simple. The language is clear, no jargon. Anyone can pick it up and understand it. And it's full of real stories, people who messed up, people who turned things around. Makes it very relatable. Plus, she includes actual tools, worksheets, prompts for journaling. It encourages you to actually do something, not just read.
Yeah. And the tone is so encouraging, right? She doesn't talk down to you. It feels like she gets it. That makes it appealing to, like, anyone, teenagers, older folks.
Exactly. She comes across like a mentor, someone who's been there, failed, and overcome.
Yeah.
Not some untouchable guru. She feels like she's right there with you.
It's probably good to also quickly mention what the book doesn't cover, just so people have the right expectations.
All right, good point. This book is not about investing. It's not about stocks or mutual funds or real estate or building massive wealth. There are no shortcuts here, no high-risk plays. It's laser-focused on teaching that foundational, life-saving money discipline, getting your house in order first. That's the goal, not getting rich quick.
Okay, great clarification. So there we have it, Mary Hunt's 7 rules. It really does sound like a kind of financial GPS for anyone feeling a bit lost with their money.
Definitely. And maybe we can leave you with a few of her most impactful lines, just to really let them sink in. Like, money doesn't change people. It just reveals what was already there.
Or that core one. You don't need to make more. You need to manage what you already have. And this powerful warning, borrowing delays pain and multiplies it. You know, what really strikes me about her work is how much it focuses on what she calls the character side of finance. She thinks that's way more valuable than just, making a fast buck, building that inner financial strength. So here's something to think about. If you've ever felt like money controls you, which one of these 7 rules really hit home for you just now? And maybe what's one small thing, one tiny step you could take this week to start making a change? Thanks so much for joining us on this deep dive into some really powerful financial wisdom.